Matt is on some crazy shit. And this is just one example of what happens when Shane leaves.
I'm interested to see how that's going to go.
Dude, Shane leaving is like leaving the cattle fence gate open. You know what I mean? The cows are going to roam. They're going to, next thing you know, you have one on the roof. You have a cow over here in Barry's field next door. You know, it gets wild. It gets absolutely wild. Excuse me. So now, that's just one example. Matt ain't the only one in the crew that's acting a goddamn fool on Shane's absence, you know, on Shane's leave of absence here. You got Lemaire. Yeah, I told you about Lemaire.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know Lemaire, Lemaire Lee is his full name. Shane, he's got, you know, Matt as his co-host, right? But he's also got a little crew, his little posse of friends that live with him out over there in Austin, right? And part of that crew is Sean Gardini, who's their current producer. And then you have a guy named Nate Marshall, who's a comedian friend of theirs that lives around Austin, near them. And then you have a man by the name of Lemaire Lee. Let's give it up for Lemaire Lee. I love a Lemaire. Lameezy, they call him. Lameezy. Lemaire is a friend that they made doing comedy in like New York and Philly and shit like that. And Lemaire was actually Matt and Shane's secret podcast first producer. They fired this asshole. This guy like forgot to hit the record button so many goddamn times. They're like, bro, we got to just let you go, man. Like, I'm sorry. You know, we're still friends. You know, Shane's like, I'll let you live off of me, you know, but I can't pay you. I'm sorry. I can't pay you anymore. You can live in my shed. In my shed in the backyard in Austin, you can live there, but I can't pay you anymore. Okay? So, Lameezy has recently started causing a little bit of ruckus online. And when I say a little bit of ruckus, I mean actually a lot of bit of ruckus. This guy has been like trying to start almost like a New York City, Austin, Texas, like comic feud. Just like the joke I made earlier. This is like East Coast, West Coast, West Coast rap beef type shit, right? Now it all started with this one episode of The Regs with this is probably one of my favorite comedians of all time. This is Louis Gay Gomez, okay? Give it up for Louis Gay Gomez. I like Louis J. Gomez. Me and Louis are really good friends because Louis is also friends with Red Bar, and Red Bar is also friends with me. I'm his uncle, and we're all friends. So I like Louis. I really do. So, Louis, he's on this episode of The Regs with him, Dan Soder, Robert Kelly, and my second favorite comedian, Joe List. I love a good Joe List. This one soundbite has not been working this whole episode. I don't like it. So I'm gonna have to, you know, take some time right now to close that and reopen it. Okay, so on this episode of The Regs, Louis starts talking about this argument that he started having with none other than Tony H. Hinchcliffe. You know, my third favorite comedian of all time. About how Austin comics were nowhere near as good as New York comics. I wanted to share some of that with you guys to kind of give you a precursor of what got Lemaire so hot and bothered online. Let's check this out.
Oh, I was saying that because I had a debate with Tony Hinchcliffe. This is actually a good debate for this show. Because I posted, they were like, you guys should do Skankfest in Austin because it's got the best comedy scene in the world. And I was like, well, no, New York still has the best comics. And I wrote that. And then Tony Hinchcliffe screenshotted it to me and said to me, he's like, really? You think New York's got better comics than us? And then he was like, who do you have? And then I just fucking wrote, I'll pull up the list. I just like, and then I was like, who do you have? Rogan and fucking Tom Segura. And then Roseanne is like the third best.
And Shane sometimes.
Shane sometimes.
Tim Dillon. Not anymore.
No, Tim Dillon claims New York.
Yeah.
Tim Dillon, we have Tim Beck. He spends most of his time here.
Yeah.
What did he say after that?
It's so funny watching four hack fucking comedians sit at the table and talk about how, dude, them all being New York-based comics, none of them should be anywhere near that goddamn list, quote unquote, that Louis is about to talk about. But I do fully agree. Austin comics are dog shit compared to New York comics. I mean, New York's the creme de la creme. There's so many more rooms, so many different like demographics of people to perform to, you could like really sharpen the blade in a place like New York, right? You're not going to get the same quality of heat coming out of a city like Austin. It's not impossible. Like you could get like the greatest comic ever could come out of Austin, but it ain't going to be everyone. It's not going to be like the pound for pound, every single comic. It's not, you know, you just can't compare that. It would be like if a whole country was just, their whole thing was all fighting and they just all were fighters from the time they were born. You know what I mean? And then you take like a group of Americans and throw them over there and expect the Americans to like beat their asses or something. Maybe that's not a good analogy, but you kind of get what I'm talking about. You know, it's just funny. It's like, yeah, I'm done with analogies. Let's just listen.
That.
You started arguing with me. I'll pull up the text.
We got David Tell. We got
Chris
Colin
Rock,
Quinn.
Louis C.K.,
four.
Colin Quinn,
Todd Barry, Daniel Simonson.
Ooh, I don't know if I put Todd Barry.
I think even our
Some women.
there's so many underrated comics that are fucking. Lenny Marcus is hilarious.
Ethan Simmons Patterson. No, that's the thing. Like the average comic, the guys you don't even know about, like blow the guys in Austin away. Like absolutely, all the guys who are doing the Mothership, that small room. Every one of them that moved from New York couldn't even get on stage at the Stand. Couldn't even get on stage at the New York Comedy Club. These guys were failing in fucking New York. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact.
Trying to start a war.
No, it's a war. They know what the fuck's up. They left New York because they couldn't cut it here. Let's get real.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let's get real.
Let's get real. Let's get real ass today.
Let's get real ass. Let's get real ass podcast with Zach Amico, that fucking Macy's Day blimp, dude. Zach Amico is fucking gigantic, bro.
He's interesting.
Zach Amico is a disgusting human being. He's like what should be depicted when people go like, this is what could go wrong. You know what I mean? They go, you could do everything right and you could end up looking like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Chiseled, hot, sexy, right? You could do everything wrong and you could end up looking like Zach Amico, who looks like a fucking blowfish with legs. Like he literally looks like a fucking blowfish with legs.
4 p.m.
Serious
Gas
real.
Digital.
Skankfest is over. Now the bridges get burned.
It's enough with the blacks.
What the fuck?
Separate but equal.
What?
I like that. Okay, Joe List winning me over. I wasn't expecting that. That's why he's my third favorite comedian. So, of course, in typical Regs fashion, they bring this up and then they trail off for 35 minutes on some other shit that like is just, it's going to take you completely off that topic and that point, and then they come back to it. You know, you remember I was having to skip ahead though. I was like, what is going on here? They started talking about this at 8 minutes into the podcast. They don't start talking about it again until 15 fucking minutes into. For 7 minutes, they go on rambling about something not related to this at all. Imagine as a listener going through that. I would be ripping my hair out. I'd be like, why are you guys not talking about the one? You're like leaving me on a cliffhanger here. Like, and I'm not the type of guy to wait. I'll get agitated. I'll be like, all right, fuck this show. I'm out. I'll watch a podcast cringe and I'll get all the info from that guy when he's making a video talking shit about you guys. So they finally continue. Let's hear the rest of this beef. I want to hear the rest. Tony and Tony and fucking Louis J. Gomez. Joe List is on my mind. I'm sorry. I love Joe List. Louis J. Gomez and Tony Hinchcliffe are starting a war. Let's listen to this.
It was funny.
Funny word. All right, who are the comics you named? We better all be on the list.
So
But
then, Tony,
Dude, if we're not on there, it's funnier.
That's funny if it's just
so
all.
then Tony, listen, Tony goes, he quotes that and then goes, name them.
Why would he say name them?
And then he goes, Attell, ... then ... then this face,
Is that his face?
that emoji, and then the American flag.
Yeah.
Then he said, I love you. We bust each other's balls about this. But then
Dude, speaking of Italian, I wish I would have said it when I still had him on screen, but you remember when I was talking about the way he was sitting down? I said he looked like a frog, like if a frog was sitting upright, right?
Yes.
He looked so fucking funny sitting down like that. Have you ever seen a video of a frog sitting upright before? It's the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So Dave Attell looking like that frog that's sitting on that fucking wood thing like this is the funniest fucking thing I've ever fucking seen.
Attell, Soder, Mark Norman, Joe List, Robert Kelly, Big J, Schultz, Louis C.K., Chris D, Are You Garbage Guys, Ari Shafir, Colin Quinn, Norton, Sam Morrill, Todd Barry, Jim Gaffigan, Giannis Stavros, Nick Mullen, Tim Dillon, Adrian Appalucci, Jordan Jensen, Nikki Glazer, Michael Che, Pete Davidson, to name a few.
It's so clear that you got to a point where you're like, I need to name women and black people.
But you didn't put Chris Rock, Louis C.K.
He did. He put Louis C.K.
Oh, no, I
Chris-
didn't.
Dave should. He put
Jerry Seinfeld.
But I said to name a few others. This isn't even
He's still
talking
Rock,
about
dude.
the mid-level guys that are actual killers, like hundreds of them. All of the young bucks who followed Shane and Rogan to Austin couldn't get stage time in New York City.
Whoa.
Who you got? Then I was like, then there's unknown.
That's the one that triggered Lemaire right there. That line right there.
Yeah.
Lemaire was sitting. See, this is okay. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Lemaire started talking crazy shit online about this. Like, that's kind of what we're getting at here, right? Lemaire was sitting drunk, 4 a.m., wasted watching the regs, and saw this, and he thought he was going to start a revolution on fucking Twitter. He thought he was going to really start something big off of this. Let's listen to that line one more time. For those of you that missed it, listen to this.
About the mid-level guys that are actual killers, like hundreds of them. All of the young bucks who followed Shane and Rogan to Austin couldn't get stage time in New York City.
Whoa.
Right there. All them young cats that followed Shane. Sorry, I was mid-hit. All them young cats that followed Shane to fucking Austin couldn't even hack it in New York. Lameezy's one of those fucking young
Yeah.
bucks. Well, Lameezy's not young. Lameezy's like 50. You know that? But he's black. Black don't crack.
Yep,
He looks like he's like 35, but he's like 50.
You got.
Yeah.
Then I was like, then there's unknown killers that like Greer Barnes or Mike Britt that will literally be impossible for anyone in Austin to follow. There's like 100 of those guys, the Godfreys, the Mike Yards. I was like, if you're talking about pound for pound, there's no talent pool like New York. This is off the top of my head. Austin has you, Shane, Rogan, Tom, ... Roseanne. It's thinning out.
Well, they're all from LA.
That was hilarious, Lewis. Lewis is actually the funniest Puerto Rican I've ever met in my entire life. Dude, your average Puerto Rican guy at a car wash is like funnier than Lewis. Like your average Puerto Rican guy that's doing like, he goes, "Sir, you want the wax on or you want the wax off? Or I can give it to you both, sir. I could give you the ping, ding, 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 ding." You know, those guys are fucking hilarious. Where is this with Lewis? Lewis should be tapping into that. Yanis Pappas does a better fucking Puerto Rican impersonation than Louis J. Gomez, who is an actual Puerto Rican. I'm a Puerto Rican too, though. What does that say about me? I'm like the whitest Puerto Rican I've ever met. I don't know. I'm talking a lot of shit. Me and Lewis might be the same guy.
Snap!
You
Back
put your,
to reality.
did you put your phone down? Or you're like, I gotta air my hands.
Was your
out.
phone too hot? You had to.
Then
And you wrote, "I'm sending an assassin squad to kill you right now." It's all the guys who killed Tony.
So who else is in Austin?
But none of those guys can count toothpicks when you drop them like the killers of Tony.
We got those too.
96. Yeah,
This
we
whole
got,
production
we got
staff.
the aughts.
Yeah, these.
We got a.
so then he goes,
We got an aught squad.
he goes, there's Ron White, Rogan, Segura, Roseanne, McCusker, Sebastian, Christina P, Bert, 6 weeks a year, Hinchcliffe. He
Yeah.
called himself Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe is arguing with Louis J. Gomez. He called himself Hinchcliffe in the goddamn text right now. That is
That
so
seems
crazy, dude.
Very on point.
Imagine that. Imagine if I sent you a text at all, ever, for any fucking reason ever, and referred to myself in the third person. For any reason. Tony Hinchcliffe, he's like the epitome of cringe, bro. I have to find that soundbite. That's wild. Let's listen to that one more time.
Got those too.
96. Yeah,
This
we
whole
got, we got
production
the
staff.
aughts.
Yeah, these.
We got a.
So then he goes,
We got an aught squad.
he goes, there's Ron White, Rogan, Segura, Roseanne, McCusker, Sebastian, Christina P, Bert, 6 weeks a year, Hinchcliffe. He
Yeah.
called himself Hinchcliffe. Brian Simpson, and then the Kill Tony regulars. Literally, again, bigger draws than everyone you listed.
not
He
true.
switched the thing up. He went bigger draws.
Yeah, no.
Than funny.
Yeah.
That's a different argument.
Do you know what Mike Britt could do in a minute on Kill Tony?
I found it.
Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound.
No, you don't. Imagine writing your fucking full name in the text message. Go, me, Hinchcliffe, The greatest, the one and only. I'm sucking so much dick in Austin. I'm getting ahead of life. Oh my God. So now this is right here. This is the blueprint for the World War III. This is the Franz Ferdinand right here that started the whole fucking comedy beef between New York City and Austin. And it's funny, I don't even think there actually is one. The only people who've like actually gotten involved in this and gotten upset were like Louis J. Gomez, Lemaire, and like that's it. Nobody else that's actually has a career in comedy actually weighed in on this at all. Like, it's fucking hilarious. So I want to take what?
Lewis Wood.
Lewis Wood. Lewis is, for somebody who has as much shit going on for them in comedy, like Lewis has like 19 podcasts. He has an actual podcast network. Like, oh, what? She's doing shit fucking around back here. He has a podcast network. He has a membership website. He runs a comedy festival every year. A lot of his podcasts are live. Seems like a very busy guy. He's like the Elon Musk of comedy. He's like busy doing so much shit, yet he finds time to tweet 19,000 times a goddamn day. It's like, how do you even fucking find the time, broski? Like, how does this even work, right? So, of course, Lewis would get very much involved in this. So now this is Lemaire's tweet. Lemaire, like I said, look, and it was at 4 a.m. I never looked at the time until right now. This was December 30th at 4 fucking a.m. Lemaire Lee from the Matt and Shane's secret friend group over here. He writes, "It's weird that the regs talk crap about Austin comedy when a fourth of them isn't as funny as Danny Braff." Now, I don't even know who the fuck Danny Braff is. What is even a Danny Braff?
No.
I couldn't even tell you, right? And we looked up this Danny Braff guy. The guy had like fucking 200 followers. He was like a legitimate nobody. Like, my Twitter account has like 104 followers. If I'm like half of your follower count, like, you ain't shit. I don't know. Like, you shouldn't even be part of this conversation. You know what I mean? Like, and I know social media account doesn't equal funny and blah, 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 but comedy, that's the way it works now. Like, if you are funny, you just will have a big like, that's just the way it goes, bro. You're gonna get people to follow you. The shit you output is gonna draw attention if you're fucking funny. Like, that's the way it goes, you know? At least the people who watch you in the crowd are going to come and follow you, right? If you're a comedian and you're doing enough shows and blah, blah, they're going to follow you. You're going to gain a little bit of a following off of that. Like, if anything, I say that's a boost. That's a cheat code, you know? I don't know Danny Braff, right? So what happened when we saw this? I go, oh, man, we got to check the comments of this.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he's writing something like this and nobody doesn't say anything, right? So we get through there. We start looking through the comments, right? And I love this. People start writing funny stuff like this. This is a good one. Someone wrote, like, how are you saying this when this is literally you? This is like Lemaire hanging out. What is this? DX. You remember DX? They went,
yeah.
Suck it. Like that. That used to be Suck It. This is them hanging out with a black midget. You know? I don't know who they are. What was that? Triple H and X-Pac? I think they did DX, right?
Yeah, okay.
So now people are posting some funny shit in here. And then we get down to this part of the comments, right? I see Lewis. He writes a little comment right here. He goes, "Cucking for Austin? We will explore your crimes on next week's Real Ass Podcast." As if he's like Red Bar. He's like trying to sound like Mike David. You know, Red Bar does this thing. I don't know if you know or not. He does this thing where he'll tell people you're on fool's notice. He goes, "I'm watching you now," right? And Red Bar actually has made a reputation and a presence for himself online. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling my words a little bit. He's made a reputation and a presence for himself online to where, like, he has enough fans to where that probably would scare some comedians. They would go, oh, now I'm going to get harassed in my DMs. Possibly someone might show up to one of my shows and heckle me in the crowd. You know what I mean? Something like that, right? So he'll say, you're on fool's notice, right? I'm watching you. He'll let people know I'm watching you now. And people will be like, oh, shit. They like block him and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. So now Lewis is trying to do like a red bar. He goes, oh, cucking for Austin, are you? He goes, oh, yeah, me and fucking the 500-pound crack of Zach Amico, we're going to be watching you. Zach's going to be eating Cheetos watching you all day. Because we know Zach's good for it, right? So I saw that comment. I go, oh, shit. Lewis is kind of like on one right now, right? I go, I like this. I go, Lewis is trying to be like Red Bar. I like this. But then he goes and does the most un-Red Bar thing I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. He continues to comment on Lemaire's post. Hold up, I accidentally clicked something else. We'll get back to that in a second. He continues to comment on Lemaire's post fucking 4 more goddamn times. Let's see if we could find that fucking shit. Where is he at? I kind of ruined it. Look at this. He comments on fucking Lemaire's post 4 more goddamn times. That's the most un-Red Bar shit I've ever seen in my goddamn life, right? Now, the frequency of these comments is enough to justify my nickname for Lewis Gay Gomez, right? This is enough right here to justify. How many comments you put on this goddamn one post is enough to call you Lewis Gay Gomez, right? Now, let's listen to what these comments actually sound like. The first one was, you cucking for Austin, we will explore your crimes on next week's Real Ass Podcast. Then the next comment is, enjoy the ratio, fag. He calls Lemaire a fag. Tells him to enjoy the ratio. Now, I had to explain what a ratio is to you. For those of you who don't know, a ratio is when, like, you post something, right? And someone who doesn't like what you said, doesn't agree with your views, will comment something to, like, either counter the point you made, make fun of you, talk shit to you, something like that. And everyone ends up liking that comment more than your actual post. You got out-ratioed, you know what I mean? You got outweighed by the public. Someone who talks shit to you on your own post, on your own turf. They ended up getting more likes than you. How crazy is that, right? Tell me that's not the most fucking middle school white girl shit you've ever heard. Who gives a fuck about that? Mm-hmm. Who gives a fuck about that? I had to actually look what that meant. Look up what that meant. I had to actually look up what that meant. I'm 36 years old. I'm 36 years old. I have fucking bills, bro. Like, I don't know what ratio means like this. So I go, what is Lewis talking about? I go, I have to know. I go, Grok. I go, at Grok. What does this mean? You know, he tells me, Louis J. Gomez is a faggot. He goes, that's what it means. I don't know what to tell you. Enjoy the ratio. Now look at this. And Danny Braff is funnier than 80% of Austin's comedy scene. Danny is actually really funny. Right? So now Lewis is having like a full-blown ass conversation with Lemaire. Is Lemaire replying back to any of these? Let's see. No. Let's not go back to Lewis's profile. I want to see if I want to look at the actual post. It doesn't look like Lemaire's even fucking dignifying these with the goddamn response. Everyone else is having a better time than fucking Lemaire is with this, right? Now, this is the one that I love the most. Lewis, after 4 comments and getting no responses from Lemaire, he goes, I just sent this to Red Bar.
The next day,
he wrote, I just sent this to Red Bar. Louis J. Gomez is telling his daddy. Louis J. Gomez is tattling on fucking Lemaire Lee. Imagine that. Imagine living in a world where you're Red Bar. Imagine being Red Bar, right? Mike David, his name. Imagine being Mike David, sitting in your home. You probably have like polio or something, right? Nobody's seen you in public in like 6 months. You're dying, right? And you don't want to tell anyone. Like a cat, you are just withering away in some corner in your house while your wife plays Weekend at Bernie's with you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what's happening to you, right? And then you get a text message on the phone. It's from a dear old friend of yours named Louis J. Gomez. You look, you go, Louis texted me. I wonder, he's probably wondering how I'm feeling right now. He's probably worried about my health because I helped Lewis get Gas Digital off the ground. I helped Lewis start his company because I had a website like that. I started redbarradio.net, and I did my own thing. I helped Lewis build his own thing. So naturally, he's texting me to reach out to me to worry how I'm doing. Mike David opens up the phone only to see Lewis going, I think that you should cover this on your show, as if Lewis is any old fucking faggot Red Bar fan. Imagine that. That's crazy. That's crazy for fucking Louis J. Gomez to think that this is like cool to do. You really ate with that one, didn't you, Lewis? I just sent this to Red Bar. You have any idea how much of a fucking 5-year-old you sound like? He sounds like a child.
Yes.
I'm going to tell mom. You spilled apple juice on the floor and you're not cleaning it up. I'm going to tell mom. Come on, dude. Get balls, bro. Actually, fuck it. Don't get balls. Just get fucked. Like, are you serious? You have 100 podcasts and a whole ass child. Lewis has like a whole kid. It's like, come on. Build an empire for your fucking child. What are you worried about? Lemaire doesn't shower for like a week at a time. You're worried about the shit coming out of this guy's mouth? Like, get real, bro. I'm telling Red Bar. that cannot be real. That cannot be real. I saw that. I go, this guy is fucking like serious right now. Like, what are you, fucking gay? You know, I'm telling Red Bar, he says. And then look, that was only the first one. I forgot. I should have went back to Lemaire's thing. Look, Lemaire, he just goes off on this. That was just the first one that he put out. Look at these. All right, so it started on December 30th, right? It started on December 30th. After that tweet, he writes, I'll take it a step further. New York clubs book some of the worst comics I've ever seen in my fucking life. All you got to be is a girl with 100K followers and you can own that city. And I kind of agree with Lemaire a little bit because Hannah Berner is like an actual comedian that's from New York, and she like legitimately sucks every ass that I've ever seen sucked ever. Like, she fucking blows, dude. Lemaire's still going. New York smells like shit and piss, and so do the comics. I love this. I'm seeing this. I'm going, Lemaire's burning it all down. And Shane has to sit somewhere in like fucking Toledo, Ohio on some movie set where they're having him play like a high school football coach from 1970, right? And he has to look at all these tweets and go, God fucking damn it. Like, every one of my fucking friends is going to be asking me about this, you know? Every single fucking one of them. Why? Because Lemaire is Shane's child now. Lemaire is like legitimately Shane's kid now. Same with Matt. Lemaire and Matt are running around Shane's house right now with crayons, just drawing all over every fucking surface that they can possibly find that doesn't have crayon on it. And they are ruining everything. They are just fucking spilling orange juice. They're like kids trying to pour a glass of orange juice. You ever seen that? And this is what's happening. They're trying to pour a huge jug of orange juice, and it's getting everywhere, bro. And the only person who's going to clean it up is Shane. 3 weeks from now, when it's all dried up and sticky and fucking ruin the goddamn floor. You know, like, this is bad news right here. It's not like burn the world down, but this is like, nobody wants to come home from work and have this kind of headache.
Yeah.
Off of legitimate children that don't belong to you. I'd send Lemaire back to his dead mom. I go, can you take him back? I know you're dead, but please.
Here he is.
Here he is. Yeah, I can't have him anymore. You know, I'd take Lemaire to like a fucking pound. I go, I have a dog for you. I know he looks a little weird. He's a little big. I swear he's purebred, this one. You know? And Lemaire now, look, the next day, right? Lemaire goes, you guys just exposed yourselves as scum. None of you do comedy, and you got so mad at me about something that literally does not matter. Good job, bozos. Now, he's referring to a lot of people in the comments talking shit, right? He goes, a lot of you are fans. You don't even do comedy. I think like he's trying to make it like as if he did it on purpose. Like he was obviously like drunk and just going off and speaking his mind. And then he woke up in the morning. He's like, fuck. Those were live all night. And you can't delete them now because you know someone screenshotted them. And deleting it is like, you might as well draw a red circle around it at that point, you know, because somebody's going to be like, oh, look, he deleted it. He deleted it, you know? So I think that that's what happened is he's just like doubling down. He woke up the next morning, still a little lingering off the alcohol. You know how you get really drunk and you kind of wake up a little drunk the next day. You're like, oh, fuck. He might have drank another beer. He goes, let me get the hair of the dog a little. You know what I mean? And he goes, let me double down. He goes, I could double down. I could double down. You know? Lemaire really getting in it. I just wanted to share that with you all. I wanted to applaud Lemaire Lee, you know, for being a real one. If anything, dude, Louis J. Gomez and that real ass podcast shit, that's real ass. That's real ass right there. As far as I'm concerned, that's about as real ass as it gets, you know? So what are you thinking? You thinking we got time for some funny vids?
Yeah.
Oh, we got time for some funny vids? You guys don't know, but she actually it seems like I'm the one that runs everything here. I'm not. I'm like the talent is what they call it, right? She's the one that really like schedules these things, a lot of the time codes and stuff like that. It's like, you should see if a fucking camera goes out in this bitch, I'm like sitting there like, Ashley, you have to fix it. I don't know what, you know what I mean? I'm like, help.